We should examine ourselves. What are we doing in the daytime and the nighttime, our waking hours? We should see if what we're doing lines up with Christ, because what you focus your attention on, what you give your energy to, how you spend your days, that's who you serve. That's what you serve. Is Christ the centerpiece of what you're doing? Or is this more of a self-pleasing kind of lifestyle that you have going on? You know, we all have seasons where we go back and forth and we shift and do different things, different angles, and sometimes that's God and sometimes that's us. So we have to be careful and make sure that Christ is our worship, that we worship Christ. You know? If you're playing video games 5 hours a day, you worship video games. You know? If you're always going to hobbies and you know what I mean. There's also ways where you can do that stuff and serve Christ at the same time, so you gotta be careful when you preach like this. But if our lifestyle and our lips are not worshiping Jesus, then we're not worshiping Jesus, you know. We all know a little bit about Jesus, and there's always people around us that know a little less than us about Jesus, and we need to tell them a little more so they can be built up, because Colossians 1:28 says that we may present everyone perfect in Christ. We warn them, we edify them, we rebuke them, we encourage them, you know, so that we can present them perfect in Christ. So that's the deal. You worship what you spend your time doing. And if you have a family and you need to work to provide for them, you're worshiping Christ as long as you're keeping Christ in your heart and on your lips. And you're being a good example and letting people know Christ is your Lord, and giving them a display of what it's like to be a Christian, and letting them know you're a Christian and speaking for Christ. You know? Not stupidly and obnoxiously, but maturely. And you have to look for ways in. You have to sneak Christ into the conversations, you know? But if you're not working and you're just kind of laying down all day or sitting around all day, spend more time reading the Bible. Spend more time learning about teaching yourself how to preach. You know, learning how to preach and learning how to hear God, practicing evangelism. So, stuff like that. We're trying to build the kingdom, people. We're trying to build the kingdom. So Christ did not die in vain for these people. Alright? Satan's kingdom needs to go. We need to shut it up right now. Stop his kingdom in its tracks. Wherever the sole of your foot goes, you take that land for Christ. This is the attitude of Christians that we need to have these days. Okay? Alright. It's exciting. It's exciting. And the more you get into it, the more God opens up your eyes, takes the veils away from your heart, so you can see clearer, so you can hear and understand what the vision is, what your purpose is. You're here for such a time as this. People in your vicinity, in your life, need Jesus.